Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today we're going to do a review on the Wolf Gourmet Coffee Maker. So I've already made a 10-cup pot of coffee. Coffee comes out really hot and it tastes really good. Up here is where the coffee filter basket is. It takes a number 4 cone filter and the filter basket is able to weigh the coffee. On the left side we got a water reservoir. It does have a carbon water filter inside it. And this coffee maker will brew whatever amount of water you put in, up to 10 cups. When you press the start button, that's what it brews. So if you only want 6 cups in your carafe, just fill it up to the 6 mark. So the first thing I recommend is keep the use and care guide. There is a lot going on with this coffee maker. I'm going to show you all the details that this talks about. And then we're going to make a cup of coffee. So the coffee maker is able to produce 10 cups of coffee into this stainless steel carafe. Now this is double wall insulated. It's going to keep your coffee nice and hot. It does not have a warming plate. Let's talk about the controls and the display. The display is really nice. It's just doing that in the video right now, but it's nice and solid. So we've got this selector. We've got clean, manual, and Accu-Brew. When you go to Accu-Brew, there's a scale inside here that you can weigh the coffee inside the filter basket. When you're in manual, the scale is not activated and you're just going to manually enter the how much coffee grounds you would like to enter. We also have this selector down here. This is cups. So this coffee maker really shines in this Accu-Brew. Once we turn to Accu-Brew, now we can select, we can go from mild to bold. We can go all the way to mild and we can go all the way to bold. We're going to go right in the middle. Now we can also select the cups. Now this is important. It's still going to brew whatever amount of water you put back in here. You're not selecting the cups for the water. You're selecting the cups for the measuring of the coffee. So again, even though say I select 6, I still have to fill it up to the 6 mark on the water reservoir. I've got mine filled up to the 10, so I'm going to make sure I've got the 10 cups selected. So we're in Accu-Brew, we got our strength selected, and we've got our cup selected. Now let's measure the coffee. Now this takes a number 4 cone filter, and I like to, the seams right here, fold the seams over there and there. Now you're going to slide this out. This is on a really heavy duty rail. And if you look back there, there's a cable that connects to the scale inside here. So we do have a filter basket. We can take the filter basket out. That's as much as we can take it apart. So we're going to put the filter basket in there. Now you're going to open up your number 4 cone filter and kind of put it in there and make sure it's hugging the walls. Now at this point, the drawer is open. I've got my filter in. We're going to hit the 0 button. That's going to 0 the scale with the filter in it. Now the display is saying add coffee, and we're going to watch this scale go up as we add coffee. Once it gets solid, that's when you've reached the proper amount of coffee for your strength and cups. So Miss Fiona has come for her treat. Now I'm going to grind up some fresh coffee beans. I've got Just a Dad's signature blend coffee that's going to be released soon. And here it is. This is a medium ground coffee. Okay, so at this point, my add coffee is flashing. I'm going to simply start dumping the coffee in, and that scale is going to go up over there. We can see it going up right there. And if you go over too much, it'll flash at you and you can just remove a little bit. Right there. Okay, I went a little fast. There is 1 bar above the solid bars that's flashing, so I added too much coffee. So I'm going to take just a little bit of coffee out, and now it's perfect. So now we have this coffee symbol, like the coffee basket symbol, and the bars are solid. Again, this is going to vary according to how much strength you have and how many cups you have selected. So now we're going to you're simply going to shut this. I already have my water reservoir filled up and it's to the 10 cup mark. Again, it'll brew whatever amount you have this filled up to. Now it's just a matter of hitting the start button and it's going to say the word brewing and it's going to start brewing and we're going to time it. All right, let's hit the start button. It's a very quiet coffee maker while it's brewing. So we're almost at the 2-minute mark. We've got coffee coming into the carafe. The coffee smells really good. Okay, the coffee going into the carafe is about 195. And I gotta stress, this is just a really quiet coffee maker. It does beep at you 4 times or 3 times at the end of the brew to let you know that it's done. And then the time since brew indicator comes on. That's going to let you know how long this coffee's been sitting there. Now, I have not found a way to turn those beeps off. So that took about 6 minutes and 30 seconds for that brew. All right, let's grab ourselves a cup of coffee. Again, be careful, this is really hot cup of coffee. Let's see how hot that cup of coffee is. Yeah, that's 180 degrees cup of coffee. That's too hot to drink right now. Okay, let's take a look at the filter basket. Yeah, it did a really good job with the filter basket. It doesn't overflow the coffee grounds. There's a handle right here. You're simply going to grab the handle and you can get rid of the coffee filter in the grounds. Over here is the water reservoir. We can see it did whatever amount of water is in here, that's what water it uses. Okay, so the coffee's cooled off a little bit. Let's give it a taste. Boy, that's a really good, that's a strong cup of coffee. I might move the strength a little bit milder. I imagine bold would be really strong, but that's a very good tasting cup of coffee. Okay, let's talk about manual mode real quick. I was in Accu-Brew. Now let's go to manual. Manual, you cannot control the strength. There is no strength control and there's no cup control. This is like a traditional coffee maker. Whatever amount of water you put in the reservoir, that's what it'll brew. And then up here, you're in charge of putting the correct amount of coffee grounds. I typically put 1 tablespoon per cup I'm gonna brew. So if I wanted to do 10 cups, I'd put 10 tablespoons of coffee in there. And then you're simply gonna hit the start button. And it starts brewing and stops when it's done. So this coffee maker retails for around $600. It definitely feels like a very high-end coffee maker. I thought the carafe might pour a little better. It's a little slow when it pours, and then it kind of splashes and gurgles, and I have had better pouring carafes, but it definitely keeps your coffee warm a really long time. Now this also has a program mode. We can program this coffee maker to brew us a fresh pot of coffee in the morning. We just gotta make sure and put our coffee in there and our water, and we're gonna program it. So the coffee maker is not overly complicated, but there is a lot of different controls with it. I really do recommend going through the manual, which I'm gonna go through some of the highlights here, but the display has several things it can show. The buttons have some hidden features, but I have not found a way to turn the beeps off, and they weren't really loud. Now the only part that's dishwasher safe is the filter basket. You can put this in the top rack of the dishwasher. The carafe, they say just wash out with soap and water, and same with this, but I like that you can remove this and take it over to the sink and use a brush and clean it all up if you had to. Let's talk about the water reservoir. Here's that carbon. This is a carbon water filter. So if you don't have to use it in order to make coffee, but if your water has kind of like a chlorine or smell or taste to it, that's what a carbon filter does. It takes that out. Little tab here, pull this open. Here's what it looks like. Now there is a reminder that's going to pop up on the display to tell you when it's time to change it. It's about every 2 months. But when you get a new one, you're going to take it out of the bag, soak it for 10 minutes, then run it under some water to kind of rinse it. And then it's ready, because there's some carbon dust that's going to come out of that filter. Then it's ready to put in the filter basket. Then you're simply going to line up. There's a little lip right there, and then close it. It's a little different how it connects. There's like two tabs there that are kind of big, and it kind of just sits right on top of it. There is a low water sensor, so that sensor floats up and down. If you don't have enough water in this, when you press the start button, it will not brew. Now, looks like about the minimum I can do is 2 cups. So if I fill it up to the 2 cup mark, I can brew just 2 cups into that carafe, or I can go all the way up to 10. Now, I know what you might be thinking is you could brew into a travel mug or something, but there is a spring-loaded plunger that comes down, so I can grab a quick cup of coffee and then put this. Coffee's only going to come out of there when the carafe is pushing up on that spring. Okay, so here is the bottom of this. Is a really nice looking coffee maker. It's got really nice feet. Again, this is 120 volts, 60 hertz, 1,500 watts. That's a lot of watts for a coffee maker, so it definitely makes hot coffee. Okay, let's see if we can take a look at the brew head. And then there's that ribbon cable. Yeah, I'm zooming in. There's the brew head. It does have a really nice, water's going to come out in several different spots in the brew head. Around back, the cord is 3 feet long and it's 3-prong. Here's what the back of it looks like. Okay, so height-wise, it's about 15 inches tall. Now to get the water reservoir out, you don't have to lift it up super high, just a little bit and then it'll come straight out. Front to back is 9 inches. Left to right is about 10.5. So my just-a-dad coffee that I'm working on, this is the first batch that we came up when doing our taste testing. It's kind of like a medium to dark roast. It's a Brazilian bean. It tastes really good. There's what the whole bean looks like, and I will be releasing this in a K-Cup version. Now the clean light is going to come on after 300 brews, and then you're going to put it into a clean mode and run some vinegar through it. Now that's the wolf icon. That means it's in standby mode, and it's nice and steady. It's just kind of doing that with the video. So it does have a clock display. To set the time, you're going to press and hold the clock. It's going to flash. Then you got to use this. This is how you change the time, but you got to hold it. It'll start counting really fast, or hold it the other way. It does have an AM and a PM light. When you get it to where you want, it'll either stop flashing or press the clock button again. Now I can turn the clock off. Press the button again, and it goes into the standby, just showing that icon, but I can have the clock on. Let's show you how to set the program mode. You're going to set the program mode, hit the program button, then we're going to use that same knob down here at the bottom, and you're going to set the time. Now, if the program mode has already been set once before, you're going to kind of have to press and hold the program until that clock starts flashing. Then you're going to use this to set the time. That's the start time. Now you can wait, it'll stop once you have the time set, it'll stop flashing and the program light is on. Now you can go to bed knowing that this will start in the morning. If you want to cancel the program, just come up here and hit the cancel button. Now, say you already have the time set and you just want to verify it, you'll have to hold that button again. Yeah, that's the time I want. It'll stop flashing and the program will be set. Now, I can program this that was in manual. I can do Accu-Brew. I'm going to want to set all my things first, the cups, the strength, and then I'm going to hit the program button. If I hold it, yeah, there's the start time. And again, it shows me all the displays. It shows me 7 cups, where it is on the mild to brew. That'll stop flashing, and then the program light will be lit when I go to bed. Well, in this mode, it never really stops flashing, so press it again. It still displays the cups and the strength. It goes back to normal time, but the program light is on. So the coffee maker will start in the morning. If you need to cancel it, just press it again and the light will go out. Now your clock may be in 24-hour mode. If you press and hold the clock button, it says it'll go to 24-hour mode. So when you're in 24-hour mode, you're not going to see the AM and the PM. So here it is, there it is, military time. It's 1300, 1400. Press the clock, that's the military time. So if you press and hold this for 2 seconds, it should go back to the AM and the PM on the display. So again, your change your water filter light's going to come on, and to get that to reset, you're going to rotate this to clean, and then you're going to hold the 0 button for 5 seconds, and then that'll reset the filter light. Now it says that filter light's going to come on after 30 cycles, so it may want you to change it every month. I change mine about every 2 months. Now this version does come with the silver knobs and the black knobs. I also sell one with red knobs. I think that's kind of what Wolf Gourmet is known for, is their red knobs. Now I was able to find this at TJ Maxx for $250, which I thought was a pretty good deal. You know, the coffee maker feels like a premium coffee maker. Is it worth $600? I'm not sure about that. I mean, it makes a great cup of coffee. I probably would have liked the craft to pour a little bit better. You know, $600 is a lot for a coffee maker. But you do get that scale, and I'm sure that scale was pretty hard to figure out. I don't know the longevity of that scale. It did seem really sensitive. I kind of like just pressed down on the filter basket a little bit, and it kind of changed it a little bit, but then it kind of went back to where it was. So, but I think with that scale and the brew strength and the cups, I think you can really dial in a really good tasting cup of coffee. It might take you a few tries. The nice thing about it is it remembers the last one you did, so it doesn't go back to like a standard setting. Like if you had it on 10 cups and max strength, every time you turn this on, it's going to remember that setting. Be sure and check out my Facebook group page, Just a Dad Videos group page on Facebook. I'll put a link to it under the show description notes. You can see behind the scenes of how I make my videos, what the next videos are coming up, and if there's something you would like to see reviewed, you can talk to me there. Also, yeah, I may have said it, but that's where the free giveaways. So the coffee makers I buy, the spot cleaners, carpet cleaners, I'll be giving them away on there. And my coffee. So I'm branding my own coffee. It's going to be for sale. It's going to take a little bit. Again, it's going to be in the K-Cup and the whole beam at first. The Facebook group page is going to be the most accurate and up-to-date information on the coffee brand that I'm making. So typically, again, drinking my coffee black it's a little hard. I'm not to the point where I can drink black coffee yet. I do have to add a little cream and sugar. Now, there is a couple viewers out there that have said, hey, add a little salt to your coffee. So I added salt to black coffee first. I found that it did take a little bit of the bitterness away. I might have added too much salt because I could definitely taste the salt in it. So it didn't take all the bitterness away. Coffee was still pretty bitter to me, but this, my cup of coffee, my coffee with creamer and sugar in it, I think it tastes really good. Again, it's a medium to dark roast, kind of maybe more towards the dark roast. Now, I did find taking the knobs off. I thought it might be a little easier, but it's actually, it's pretty hard to take the knobs off. They're just friction fit on there, but I'm going to leave those knobs on there. I'm not going to hassle with it. Underneath the video, if you could give it a thumbs up, I really do appreciate it. Again, I bought this coffee maker with my own money. They do sell it on Amazon. It does go on sale once in a while, and they are advertising it on Amazon. So typically when they advertise it, they will put it on sale different times of the year. So I'd say if you found this at a good sale price, $300, this would be a pretty nice coffee maker for that price. Also, I am an affiliate with Amazon, so if you click on the link, the product won't cost you anymore, but I will get a commission from the sale. It is a way of supporting my channel. And again, leave in the comments if there's a coffee maker you would like to see reviewed. Leave it in the comments. I reviewed this coffee maker strictly on somebody leaving a comment saying, hey, would you review the Wolf Gourmet coffee maker? I really didn't know much about it, did some research into it, and I was able to find one at TJ Maxx at a great price. So I thought, wow, this is just a good opportunity to do a coffee. I'm glad I reviewed this coffee maker. It is, an upper coffee maker, but you can find them for a bargain. So again, really appreciate everybody's support. If you could, please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.